Welcome back to Near Dark Podcast, and we are finally back with the 100th episode of the main series of episodes. I'm Josef, and we are the entire crew today. So we got Ogge, Blue, and Zombie as well here. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing just as well as Angel.
I think I'm getting sick, but other than that, I am doing swell.
Yes.
Okay, so I take it's all right with you guys. Okay. Good. Well, this was one hell of a start. Okay. We've been on a hiatus. If you've been following the podcast for a while, you know we've been on a hiatus for about 2.5 months now. We released 4 minisodes, in which we rebooted the minisode series, and we released the minisodes about the 4 first episodes of the Tales from the Crypt TV series, and we will do more pretty soon. We haven't decided on a date to record yet, but it's in the works. And today we're gonna talk about 1987's Near Dark, which is the movie we, let's say, borrowed the name for the podcast. And there's a reason why we chose that name, but we'll get into that a bit later. Have any of you guys recently seen? Like I said, we've been on a hiatus for 2.5 months. So,
I think this just goes as a testament how much of an unnatural piece I am to this podcast, because I'm so not a movie person. So I have not seen anything in 3 months, basically.
have you read anything, listened to anything? Oh, by the way, Zombie, I did listen to that podcast you talked about on the New Year episode, I think it was.
Station Blue?
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened through the entire thing in, I think it was just one evening. I was at work and listened to it, and I didn't really get the point of it.
That's fair.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was well done and everything, but it felt like there wasn't really a point to it. At least not during the first season. I understood that they're working on the second season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that there wasn't much happening in it, really. Have you listened to the whole thing, or
Not yet. I think it's it's more for the casual person that likes thrills more than horror. And like the unknown, partly. That's the way I understand it, at the very least.
Yeah, well, it's been like 2 months since I listened to it, but so I can't really
fair.
remember much of it.
Fair.
But yeah, I won't have any great hurry to listen to it, really. But if there will be a season 2, I will listen to that, and yeah. But yeah, have you listened to anything or read anything or?
Unfortunately not. I've been very preoccupied with work most of the times. And at that time I just listened to my good old-fashioned podcasts, which isn't really like... It's the same old, like, role-playing podcasts. So it's nothing really no new territory, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Blue, have you checked anything out?
So I've been watching two anime shows. Demon Slayer and
The Magus Bride, or
yeah, the Magus Bride. Both are so Demon Slayer is horror ish. It's about a guy who sets out to become a demon slayer after his family has been eaten by demons.
Yeah. Okay.
It's really good. The art style is fucking. It's so good.
Is
Like
it a
the-
newer one or?
I think it came out like 2019, 2020.
Okay.
They're releasing season 3 this year. Yeah, 2020. It's really good. The art style is amazing. The storytelling is good. It's good.
Okay. Sounds like a recommendation, man.
Yes. The fighting scenes can be a little bit drawn out, but it weighs up by the art style they shows. And then Manga's Bride, I watched the whole first season with a friend of mine. It's so fucking good. It's fantasy. It's like a alternate universe-esque with mages and alchemists and all that good shit. It's just fucking amazing. However, it do be giving that like emotion, like it kicks you in the balls emotionally. Like fucking hell. I've cried so much over the show. It's good. It's really good. Highly recommended. I don't think I've watched any movies.
I know you watched one movie together with me. We went to the theater at the beginning of the year.
Really? I thought I talked
Yeah.
about. Yeah, no, we watched Megan. It was
Yeah.
ass.
You said you thought it was alright when we got out.
Yeah,
from the
but then
theater.
I got to think about it, and I watched reviews and it's ass because it's like it's just been out for a while now. The ending is clearly like setting up for a sequel, and I mean yeah, it's a little bit scary because I mean AI is getting more and more.
Advanced.
Yeah, it's like it's just gonna be fucking Are You Robot or what it was called, Will Smith from 2004, I think it was.
Yeah, iRobot. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just gonna be that all over again, where the robots are gonna overthrow us and we're gonna become slaves to robots, or they're gonna kill us because we put too much trust into AI. I feel like I lost everyone here.
I just feel like
I don't know about that because for AI to do stuff, it needs to get inputs from humans, and we're far from self-learning computers yet.
I don't know about that.
and the thing is, like, it may not have been like AI, but they tried to do like an experiment to like get this little robot to like travel across like the world to see how far it went. Like, take me however far you can. I think it started in Canada and ended up its journey destroyed in pieces in Detroit.
Of course.
So it didn't take itself very far. And that was just by human hands, like. So I think
Yeah.
I really liked Megan. It riffs on the same things like the Child's Play remake, really, about a AI gone, going on a killing spree. But it's very, very toned down in the violence and everything. But I'm really looking forward to the sequel. It's gonna come out next year, if I remember correctly.
I mean, like, I need to rewatch The Child's Play.
Remake.
But yeah, because it was a while ago since I watched it. I need to rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch all of them with Gray, because he needs to watch good movies, and yeah.
You need to watch the Chucky TV series as well.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. But yeah, I really love the Child's Play remake. I think they did a really good job on that remake, actually.
Like,
I
I want to. Yeah.
I was really skeptic about it, but yeah, I think they did a really bang up job on that one.
Yeah, no, like, I want to remember it to be good, but then again, my memory is absolute horse shit, and I barely remember what I did yesterday, so.
Well, then why destroy
Yeah.
those good memories and just live in the unknown?
Denial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sit there and living in like, yeah, no, it was a good movie. And in reality, it was shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna give it an honest rewatch at some point. Like, we have 50 movies on a movie list we're gonna watch. So it's not really prioritized right now.
Alright, I'm just gonna rattle through my recently seen, which isn't really recent. It's been like over a month since I saw a movie. At the beginning of the year, I rewatched The Faculty from 1998, I believe. It's the Robert Rodriguez sci-fi horror movie about a high school where the teacher starts to get taken over by aliens. It's starring Robert Patrick, Selma Hayek, Elijah Wood, Josh Hartnett, and I can never remember what her name is, but she plays Mia in the Fast and the Furious franchise. She's in it. It's very typical late 90s horror. It's really fucking good. It holds up really, really well. The only thing that isn't really good in it is the CGI. It's very, very outdated. But there isn't that much CGI really. But the CGI they used stands out like a sore thumb. So, and then after that, I rewatched a movie I hadn't seen since I think it was 2009. It's a slasher movie called Drive-Thru from 2007. I know there was supposed to be a sequel to this one, but I can't find anything about the sequel now. So I guess it got scrapped or something. But Drive-Thru is about this fast food joint which has a mascot in the shape of a hellish clown. I think the clown's name is Horny.
Wow.
Ooh.
And Horny is...
Horny.
If you would take Freddy Krueger and make him into a clown and make him swear about 10 times more than he does,
Wow.
then you got the villain of the movie. And he's basically the best thing with the entire fucking film. The teenagers you get to follow in Drive-Thru are so fucking annoying. And it really was a test of my patience while I was watching it. If it hadn't been for Horny, I would have shut the movie off because it was really getting on my nerves. And right before we went and watched Megan at the theater, I actually sat down and rewatched one of the best action movies of all time, which is, in a sense, a slasher movie because it really got the slasher formula to it, but it is an action movie, and that is The Terminator.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
Yeah. And I mean, what is there to say about The Terminator?
Honestly,
Everyone has seen it and knows what it is about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you haven't watched Terminator, are you really old enough to listen to us?
Exactly.
Fine, like, get out of the diapers and go watch some good movies.
Well, one thing I would have loved to see in the Terminator franchise, because they made the mistake of making Arnold's Terminator character the good guy in all of the sequels.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him become the villain again in one of the sequels.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the best thing with the first movie. He's an imposing force, and
Yeah.
this unstoppable machine in the shape of an Austrian bodybuilder.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the sequels continues that saga, but him as a good guy. So having him turn around and be the bad guy again really enforces that, like, oh shit, kind of
Yeah.
deal.
I wonder if they...
Well, they sort of used him as a bad guy in Terminator Salvation, but that was they used another guy, and they basically used CGI to do his face, and he's in the movie for like 2 minutes or something. But
I wonder if they could have gone... Would be cool if they would have went, like, make a Terminator movie that's a full-on slasher. Like a full-on horror movie.
well, yeah, well, the Terminator was supposed to be a slasher movie. It was supposed to be a cash-in on the slasher subgenre at the very beginning. But then it evolved and turned out to become one of the most iconic sci-fi action movies of all time.
Yeah.
And some people say that Terminator 2 is better than the first one. I would hardly disagree. The first one is superior to the second one.
So I watched Terminator 2 before I watched Terminator 1, so I am definitely biased towards that 2 is better than 1. But 1 has Arnie's bare ass in it, so...
You can see his schlong as well.
Oh.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, yeah.
Blue's like, alright, I'm gonna rewatch the Terminator tonight.
Yeah, hey guys, I gotta walk my fish. Sorry.
She jumped out
Yeah,
of the
no.
Discord call.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, I am definitely biased that I like 2 more than 1 because I watched 2 before 1. Because I think it went on TV or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, no, it's good movies.
Yeah, the TV series is great as well. It's a shame that they canceled it after just 2 seasons. And they leave the story with a big fucking cliffhanger as well, so it's kind of like getting the middle finger in the face.
Yeah.
Suck on these nuts.
A lot of TV shows does
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah.
Like leave everything on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, like if they don't get the ratings they want, or it doesn't go as well as they hoped, they just flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they
Netflix
did with
is
Altered
notorious for
Carbon.
that.
And that pissed me off.
Which show?
Altered Carbon.
Yeah. I think you've mentioned that before.
Yeah. like the second season wasn't as good as the first, but it was still pretty good. And then they, of course, finished it with a cliffhanger. And then they got cancelled, or well, the funding pulled, or whatever you call.
Yeah, the same shit happened to the Terminator TV series.
Yeah,
That fucking sucks.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, at least do a special episode or something that is like 1.5 hour and finish up the story.
Yeah.
That feels like-
Or-
Or they could do stuff like that. There's a Korean show called My Name. That
yeah, I got that on my to watch list. You recommended
Yeah.
that before.
it's just one season, but it's like a whole story. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't need a sequel, you know.
I actually remember the movie I watched. I had a vague memory of it, so I had to look up the name. We watched Shivers from '75. Me and Gray.
Okay.
It is definitely one of the weirdest movies I've watched in a good long while. Like, I wanted to watch something old, and so we're looking for movies, and
Is it a David Cronenberg movie?
yes.
Okay, yeah, I know which one it is. He's the guy behind The Brood, Scanners, Videodrome, and so on and so on. His movies are usually very weird. He also did the remake of The Fly.
Yeah, they're like, so it starts off really fucking weird. I was like, I'm not sure if I want to watch this movie anymore. And then we're like, okay, let's give it 15 minutes. If it doesn't get better, or if it gets worse, well, just change to something else. So we continue watching, and basically, it's a zombie movie, but instead of them like eating each other, they have a massive fucking orgy.
What?
Like, they get sex crazed. It's so weird. And, oh god, I don't recommend watching it. I definitely don't. It was just, what the fuck did I watch, basically?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard about that movie. I've never seen it, but
Oh, you've not
So-
missed anything.
it sounds great. I need to watch it.
Joseph knows what he's gonna watch before going to bed tonight.
Oh yeah. The last thing I've seen is the Last of Us TV series. I got 3 episodes left of it of the first season. I mean, it's good, and it follows the first game's story somewhat to the point. Some scenes from the game is actually in the TV series, and they taken, quotes from the game. But they have taken a lot of liberty with the script as well, and they've changed up a lot of things. I mean, I didn't mind that. I really didn't care, to be honest. But there might be people that doesn't approve of it. I don't know. But it's been good so far. Is it the greatest thing I've ever seen? No. But it's a good time waster, absolutely. So far, at least. I mean, I've got 3 more episodes to go, so.
Yeah, dude, next episode, it's complete horse shit!
Yeah. This fucking show sucks! Oh, by the way, the last thing I'm gonna mention is that I played through the Dead Space remake as well, and 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
It's I'm not gonna mention anything about the game, but it is a 10 out of 10 fucking game. I absolutely loved it. And tomorrow, the Resident Evil 4 remake gets released as well. Which I have pre-ordered, so I hope that I get it.
I'm looking forward to the RE4 remake.
Yeah, that game looks good.
It's so fucking good. And Zombie is sitting here like, yeah.
Sounds nice. Happy for you.
Yeah, Zombie's like, I'll come back in 5 minutes when you guys are done here.
Zombies like Resident Evil was that.
Yeah, like we're just circle jerking about a good game. He's like, yeah.
Just playing the same 5 games in the circle.
Yeah.
Speaking of Resident Evil, by the way, there will be a new CG movie this summer with Resident Evil.
Ooh.
Resident Evil Death Island, I think the title is. It's the 4th CG movie. I actually think we should cover those movies.
Maybe we should. We have covered the first
they're really good.
live action, right?
Have we?
No, we haven't.
Okay, then maybe I just watch it in my free time then.
Give me a second. I'm gonna.
I've mentioned that me and Gray watched it at one point, but
I know that Zombie has mentioned it once.
It might have been when I watched it for the first time.
Yeah. I can't. No, we haven't covered it.
Well, then in that case,
yet.
we might cover both the CG and the live action series. At separate points.
Absolutely. Yes. But that's everything I got. We saved you for last, Ogge, because you said you had a lot to talk about.
And I'm not kidding. So, first I rewatched a bunch of movies, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and that's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's
with Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
And then I watched some more Clint Eastwood, the first 3 Dirty Harry movies.
I've never seen those. I got all 5 of them, but I've never seen them. Oh, are they any good? Or?
Yeah, they're really fucking good. You're gonna love them. I think the second movie is the best. The second and the third movie are more like straight up action movies from the 70s.
Okay.
But I think the first one is more like, I guess, thriller, sort of.
Yeah.
It's basically Dirty Harry being badass and cracking one-liners. It's hilarious and awesome.
Speaking of Dirty Harry, those movies are sort of like the one-man army type of... or like a vigilante, but he's a cop.
Yeah. It's kind of like a cop that doesn't follow the rules, pretty much.
Yeah. Speaking of that, have you seen the Death Wish movies with Charles Bronson?
I think so. I'm not sure.
There's a remake with Bruce Willis as well.
Ooh.
Oh. I haven't seen the remake, but
I haven't seen the remake either, but I'm planning on rewatching the original movies and then the remake at some point. The reason I'm asking is because I think you would love Death Wish 3.
Okay.
It got banned 2 times in Sweden because of how violent it is.
Damn.
And the whole movie is basically pointless. It's just Charles Bronson running around shooting gang members. For 90 minutes, it's fucking brilliant.
Cool. I've also rewatched the movie A Boy and His Dog. It's a post-apocalyptic movie, and it's from the 70s exploitation era. So it's very offensive. It would not have been, like, that movie could not have been released today. Like, it would have been cancelled so hard. but the first time I watched it, I didn't like it that much, but the second time watching it, it was better than I remember it. The first time I watched it, I thought it was too slow and not much didn't happen, but I don't think so anymore. I think it's a good movie, but it will offend you.
Well, it
Joseph
won't.
is so easy to offend.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I don't think it will offend me,
yeah.
of all people.
Joseph, check your DMs.
Oh.
You said you something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just us two know it.
Anyways.
Okay.
I can't read out what she sent. I can't.
I
Sorry.
would have read it out if it wasn't super fucking offensive.
Yeah, I can't read it out. I'll send it to you guys later on.
Okay.
You will understand why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Ogge, have you watched anything else?
Yeah. I also went to the cinema and watched Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the new movie.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I got that on my to watch list.
Yeah. It's not as much as of a comedy as I thought it was, but it has some scenes that are really funny. I don't think it's a good movie, but it's an entertaining movie.
Ah.
There's a few scenes that made me laugh a lot. So I think overall it's a decent movie.
It sounds like a movie up my alley, though.
Yeah.
Like a popcorn movie.
I think it's more like a watch at home movie. Wasn't like a very good like cinema experience.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth going to the cinema. Isn't it kind of like, if you really want to watch and enjoy it, you should watch it and be like bonkers fucking high.
That sounds
Like,
like it.
Yeah, like if you smoke some good shit and watch it, then yeah, then I think it would probably be somewhat an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
If you look at the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer makes it seem way crazier than it is. Sorry.
Oh, so
it's one of those kind of movies, alright.
So they take like the good clips from the movie and make the trailer out of it to get the asses in the seats, and when you sit there to watch it, it's like, the fuck?
Yeah, you're kind of expecting something like Sharknado. Something as crazy as that.
Oh God!
But
Oh
better.
God!
But you know, that type of insanity. But it's really not that crazy.
It's gonna be interesting to watch it. Like I said, I got it on my to watch list, so
Yeah.
I'll get back to you guys about it when I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's some scenes that are hilarious though. So yeah.
Have you watched anything else?
Yep. It's gonna.
They just keep coming.
Oh yeah, this is gonna go on for quite a while. I rewatched Scream 1 and 2.
Ooh.
And
Nice.
they're good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. They're not like masterpieces, but they're alright slashers.
I think the first Scream is really fucking good. I mean, it kickstarted the slasher genre again when it was initially released.
Yeah.
I really liked the second one up until a couple of years back when I rewatched the four first movies. The dance scenes and the song numbers in the second movie. I mean, they were. Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, movies in general that has song numbers are... it's kind of cringy.
Yeah, well, it can work if the movie is like a musical or something.
That you expected.
But yeah, but when the characters all of a sudden starts to sing in a slasher movie, you're like, eh?
Yeah.
To me, it becomes just like kill them a little bit faster. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what really stands out, I think the first movie is kind of ruined by a scary movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it really is.
I need to rewatch the first one. I haven't seen that for 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
So like I watched Scary Movie before I watched Scream. And it was just like I didn't understand any of the like the parody they did. I just thought the movie was hilarious. Then I watched Scream. I was like, Scary Movies, hot garbage. It's like, no.
I don't know. I just can't take any of the characters and Scream serious after watching Scary Movie.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
Also, what kind of breaks it for me is just how goofy the killer is. Like there's one scene where Sydney is in like the bedroom, and the killer walks in like, "Haha, you're dead," and she just straight up runs out and locks the door, locks him in.
It's like, what the fuck?
And he just falls and tumbles all over the place, and
It's so fucking stupid.
yeah,
I swear.
he just looks incompetent.
The home.
Yeah. So I also watched. So I was with some friends, and we watched The Devil's Rejects.
Ooh, I haven't seen that for a long time, but I remember it being really good.
Yeah, same here. It was fucking amazing. I loved it. So I was gonna rewatch the whole trilogy, but so far I've only watched the first one, which is like House of a Thousand Corpses, right?
Yeah, the House of Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was all right, but it was not like what I expected.
I think the only good thing with House of Thousand Corpses is the intro of the movie when what's it called? Captain Spaulding is
Talking about Dr.
Yeah, well, that part is really good as well when he's talking about the serial killer Doctor something. But the introduction when two robbers come into his
Oh, yeah, that.
and the whole sequence ends with him saying, "Goddamn motherfucker, got read all my clown suit," or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, House of Thousand Corpses is basically a Texas Chainsaw Massacre ripoff.
Yeah, exactly.
On crack.
Yeah, on crack. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was exactly what I thought about it too. And speaking of which, I also watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning.
Isn't that the one that came out very recently?
Yeah.
No, that's the prequel to the remake.
Oh, okay.
I think it came out 2006.
Yeah.
I think.
It's the origin story of Leatherface.
Letterface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it is.
Orly Ermy is in it as well.
Yeah. I thought the origin story was okay, but it's a bit, I don't know, I guess risky. What do you think of it?
It's been a while since I saw it, but I had a Texas Chainsaw marathon a couple of years back, and I rewatched it. I mean, the remake is pretty gruesome, but the prequel basically turns everything up to 10, if I remember correctly. It's really fucking violent.
Yeah, it is.
The chick who plays the main character in the prequel, that's the woman who plays Mia in the Fast and the Furious franchise, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, from what I remember, I like the prequel to the remake. I don't have any problem with the remake either. There's a lot of people thinking that the remake of Texas Chainsaw is hot garbage, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, same here. I thought it was all right. I just wasn't sure about what I thought of like the origin story. That is kind of this tragic thing. I think I kind of preferred it when he was just this like mysterious psycho. But I don't.
Yeah, he's a psycho that kills people for, well, basically the only reason to eat meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to eat. And
both versions of Leatherface works, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The reasoning for him killing people in the remake and the prequel to the remake are fine, I guess. I mean, they could have come up with something hell of a lot worse than what they did.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't really say anything because I haven't watched the remake yet. I don't think I definitely haven't watched the prequel. Like the last one I remember watching, I think was the one where he's like a kid or something. I think it came out 2017.
Yeah, that's the latest prequel. It's just called Leatherface.
Yeah, I think I watched that when I was binge watching movies and came up to 600 movies.
That one is from 2017, I think. The one Ogge is talking about is from 2006. The remake came out in 2003.
Okay, then I've probably watched it. I just don't remember watching it.
Yeah, the latest one is just called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that came out last year. I think
it was the newest one I watched actually. Now that you mention it, I don't think it was.
Was it the Netflix movie?
I don't know. I'm investigating.
Investigating journalism.
It's like when Leatherface was young.
That's Leatherface.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was the one I watched.
Is it when he goes on a road trip?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's the latest prequel. Yeah, that one is rough.
Yeah, I know, right?
Gotta admit, there is a twist in that movie. I won't say what it is, but it's a twist in it, and I really was surprised by it. But yeah, that one is really rough.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure I like that Leatherface, honestly.
I mean, the idea for that movie worked if it hadn't been a Texas Chainsaw movie.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was the origin story of any fucking other character, it would have worked. But I mean, Leatherface on a road trip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that sounds,
Sounds like as dumb as Leatherface goes to space.
Yeah, that would have been fucking retarded.
Yeah.
By the way, Steven Dorff is in Leatherface. Steven Dorff played Deacon Frost in the first Blade movie.
How about that?
But yeah, have you seen anything else?
Yeah, Life. It's...
Ooh, that one. That one is good.
Yeah, that
one is fucking
yeah,
good.
that
I
was
just
really
thought
good.
you were casually roasting us.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually thought so too. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I've been outside of my home. How about that?
Suck on them nuts.
No, but I'm referring to the horror movie, Life.
Yeah.
It's basically a slasher in space, so it's kind of similar of Alien.
It is technically an Alien ripoff.
I mean, yeah, it is. Let's be honest.
Jake Gyllenhaal is in it, as well as Rebecca Ferguson, who's Swedish.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw that movie at the theater. Actually, I haven't seen it since, but I got it on Blu-ray.
I thought it was really good. Like that alien was legit scary, like at times.
What year was it from?
20.
17?
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
the only one I can find. Alright, I know what I'm gonna watch tonight.
Hell yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, 2017.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds is in it.
Yeah, yes. There's a couple of pretty big names in there,
Yeah.
actually.
Alright.
Anything else, Ogge?
Yeah, I think one more. I watched the series Hurts Like Hell on Netflix. It's
Okay, what's that?
it's kind of like a mix between drama and documentary about Muay Thai, which is basically kickboxing from
Martial
Thailand.
arts.
Yeah, it's a martial arts. And they kind of dramatized some stuff that's actually happened in Thailand. And it's pretty fucking dark. I thought it was really good, but I'm not sure if you would like it, because I think you kind of have to like be into martial arts a bit to like it or appreciate it.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, but it's a really good story, and it's one of those things that, because it's stuff that happened in real life, makes it way better and like more depressing.
Yeah.
It just hits different.
Yeah, so it's a pretty short one in like only 4 or 6 episodes, I think. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good, and
Sounds good.
yeah. So yeah, that's all I've seen. Not
So I want to mention something before we move into talking about the movie. So at the end of last week, we lost a great actor, both a voice actor and a movie actor named Lance Redricks.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Amongst things, he's been in the John Wick movies. He's well known for voicing Commander Zavala in Destiny. He passed away at the age of 60, peacefully in his sleep, thankfully enough. And his passing caused like a massive fucking movement online. I've seen the whole gamer community come together over his deaths. He's been in John Wick. He was in Legends of Vox Machina, Paradise PD, Fraser, Man of Fire, Batman, Unburned. He's done a fuckload of voice acting, all that. I don't know, I just wanted to mention it because we lost an amazing human being, basically, and it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
It does.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the whole internet already knows about his passing, but it's just...
Yeah, it came as a shock, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, 60 years old, that's
It's nothing.
it's too fucking young.
Yeah, like, it really is, like... Oh. No, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on from that. I think it's time to roll the trailer. We're almost 1 hour into the episode and we haven't started talking about the fucking movie yet.
It's our 100th episode. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So here is the trailer for 1987's Near Dark.
Separate your head from your shoulders.
Do it fast.
All right.
Good times roll. Woo! No! You might as well just kill me then, too.
Caleb Colton no longer belongs to our world.
We'll give him a week to see if we can call him one of us.
He belongs to hers.
But you have to learn to kill.
He belongs to theirs.
I want to kill.
He makes you kill tonight.
And they all belong to the night.
It's $3 short for a bus ticket home. You help me out?
What are you on?
Believe me, I told you.
Just don't think of it as killing.
Evening.
Evening. Don't think at all. It's just something that you do night after night. It's only ever a question of how.
You nervous? I would be too if I were you. Near Dark.
The bigger boys falling in with the trouble. Check out time.
Bought yourself some time, son.
God damn, this is my family. Let him go.
Near Dark. Pray for daylight. The night has its price.
The young small-town farmer's son, Caleb Colton, is out and about late one night when he meets the beautiful May, who asks for a ride to her trailer before dawn. On their way there, Caleb stops the car and asks for a kiss from May, who bites him in the neck and runs away. Since his car won't start again, he starts to walk home, but when he's close to his farm and the first rays of sunlight hits him, he starts to self-ignite. In the next moment, he gets dragged into a van and gets introduced to May's family, the leader Jesse Hooker, his girlfriend Diamondback, the cruel Severin, and the boy Homer. They all have one thing in common. They are nocturnal hunters who needs blood to survive, vampires. Now, Caleb has to make a choice. He either goes back to his family and tries to find a cure, or he stays with May and becomes a creature of the night. Okay, I'm gonna kick this one off because I got a lot of things to say about it.
Nice.
That means
Okay.
that the rest of us don't need to say shit.
Yeah. Okay, so we initially had this episode planned to be recorded in the middle of January. So I watched the movie in preparation for the recording. And then we had to postpone it for, about 2.5 months. For different reasons. So I had to rewatch the movie since I barely remembered anything of it.
Same.
So I was thinking I could give my first impressions of the film and my impressions after rewatching it. That's why I got a lot to say about it. So, first off, I've never been a big fan of vampire movies. I just, find them, most of them, dull and boring. There are exceptions, of course, like Blade.
Twilight.
And Underworld, which is, that movie series is pretty much considered shit, but I like them. 30 Days of Night and From Dusk to Dawn. And I also got the same problem with werewolf movies. Most of them are dull and boring, but there are exceptions, like Gideon Snaps, Silver Bullet, and Dog Soldiers. But with all that being said, I had heard a lot of good stuff about Near Dark, and some people even said that it is the best vampire movie out there. So I mean, my expectations of it were somewhat high when I sat down to watch it.
Yeah.
So my first impressions of the film, right when I had watched it for the first time, was that it was alright. It was a bit underwhelming, since a lot of the running time goes to, following this Caleb character when he tries to get his grips on the fact that he's turning into a vampire. As well as the whole romance and love story between Caleb and May, which I understood and understand is necessary to the plot, since without it, there wouldn't have been a movie, really.
Yeah.
But I just found it so fucking boring to watch these two wooden characters played by wooden actors. I also thought that the beginning of the movie was really fucking dragged out, and it took about 2 centuries before anything really started to happen, because, again, we get to follow Caleb and May and their romance.
Yeah.
I also thought that the ending was shit. I mean, the characters have some sort of self-preservation throughout the film. Covering up the glass in the car when it's sunlight outside and so on and so on. And even though they get hit with sunlight during the film, they try to avoid it. But at the end of the film, they basically starts to act like total fucking idiots.
Yeah,
and the whole self-preservation thing goes out the window.
Yeah.
So I mean, the whole ending just felt really, really, really sloppy, and it felt not very well thought out. It's sort of like if the scriptwriters didn't really know how to end the fucking film.
Is that okay? We need to end it. Let's just cut it off here. Like.
Yeah. Let's just wrap this shit up.
Yeah, like the one I felt most strongly that went that way were Homer. Like Severin, he got like an ending that fitted him. A blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Like his made sense. He was fighting to kill or be killed. And that's how he went. Stupid way, sure. In a way, but at the same time.
But still.
It was very fitting of him and his whole character, because he was a very reckless, outgoing character. So.
Yeah. But with all that being said, I did like the set pieces in the movie. Like the bar and the shootout scenes.
Yeah.
They were great. As well as Severin's death scene, like you mentioned, Zombie. And I also thought it was nice to see Bill Paxton, Lance Henriksen, and Jeanette Goldstein act together again after their appearances in Aliens the year prior. As well as an earlier role for Joshua John Miller, who later appeared in the Class of 1999. He played Angel in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The only problem with these actors being in the movie, I thought at least, was that they were really underutilized. When they were on the screen, I thought the movie got 10 times better and really, really, really entertaining. Especially during the bar scene where Bill Paxton basically steals the entire show in that scene. That's his scene.
Oh, yeah.
So, going into the movie a second time, because I had to
Refresh the memory.
Yeah, I knew that I didn't think this movie was great the first time I saw it. So going into it a second time after just, well, a little bit more than 2 months, well, it wasn't fun, let me tell you. But at least but I at least thought that I perhaps would enjoy it a bit more now that I, knew what to expect from it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have been more wrong.
Oh, shit.
So, the things that I told you guys that I liked during my first viewing of the film,
Yeah.
I still think holds up. The set pieces works really well, and if they had been in any other fucking film, I think I could have recommended this. What kills the film for me is the whole fucking romance storyline. It not only kills the momentum of the film, it also really underutilized the star power they had on their hands here. If the film had been following the characters of Paxton, Henriksen, Goldstein, and Miller, I think the movie would have been a lot, with big letters, better. Because, I couldn't give two shits about the romance between Caleb and May.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have cared less, even if I tried.
It felt so forced.
Yeah. The problems I thought the movie had after my first viewing of it stands as well. But they stand out even more now than they did the first time I saw the film. I think that Near Dark is mostly an uninteresting and boring vampire movie that got a handful of really good set pieces, which probably is the reason why people like this movie, which is something I would like to call the Death Proof syndrome. Have you guys seen the movie Death Proof?
Oh no, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Okay, so in the movie Death Proof, which is supposed to be a horror movie, by the way, there are people sitting around on their asses at a bar talking, and talking for about half of the film. And then in the middle of it, a really gruesome and violent car crash scene happens. Kills off the characters, and then the movie reboots itself. And we get introduced to a new bunch of characters who sits at the same bar talking, and talking up until the end. When a car chase scene happens for a couple of minutes, and then the movie ends.
Interesting.
What I mean with the Death Proof syndrome is that Quentin Tarantino has made a movie in which absolutely nothing happens besides 2 points in it, which is what people will remember after they have seen the film. Most people will probably forget how fucking boring the movie was up until the really brutal, suspenseful, or intense scene or scenes.
Yeah.
And Death Proof is a prime example of that, and I think you can apply the same reasoning about the popularity of Near Dark as well. Do you guys agree with me?
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
Yeah, I think the bar scene really stood out from the rest of the movie, and that is what you will remember the most.
Yeah.
Along with the shootout, maybe, and the Severance death, but I think the bar scene is really the core of what you will remember the most.
Yeah, that's the peak of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the film is just uninteresting nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to sum up my thoughts about Near Dark, and I really don't have that much to add after this, is that, like I said, Near Dark for me is mostly an uninteresting and boring vampire movie that got a handful of really good set pieces and underutilized star power, who I think could have made the movie a hell of a lot better if we got to follow those characters instead of two charisma-free walking planks and their uninteresting romance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I actually got 2 ratings for this movie, but I will save them until you guys have said what you think about it. But that is my thoughts. Like I said, I had a lot to say about it since
We heard.
Yeah.
since I've seen the movie twice. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts, guys?
Well, I do agree on, like, I would say 90% of the thing. And the one thing I think they could have kept either the romance or the characters if they had them fleshed out more. And made the movie longer to, like, get more in-depth with the characters if they had made them actually interesting people. Maybe remove the romance part of it and make it another kind of intimate relationship, such as I have now turned you, so I get parental feelings towards you or obligations or whatnot.
Or like a guardian type of deal. Yeah.
And, like, sure, you could have turned it into romance where, like, May get these parental feelings, but because Caleb is just turned, he gets romantic feelings, either as a sense of self-preservation or something else, and just get more in-depth about how he's feeling about the whole turning thing. Because you get, like, one scene where he, like, really talks about how, like, scared and of the change and everything. Like, maybe 1 or 2 scenes where he talks about it. And it's very short. And they could have gone more in depth about it. And instead of focusing his thoughts on, like, oh, I really like this girl, which is, like, so weird. She turned you into a monster and now you're just, like, in love with her. It feels so out of left field. And if they prolonged the movie, they could have also gotten more screen time for the other characters and have them interact more. Because that's also something I missed a lot. Because it felt like Caleb and May were a lot together, but there weren't that many instances where, like, Caleb interacted with the other characters and they felt like 2 different groups at that point. And one time, like, I'm gonna kill you, to I just saved your asses, to, like, oh, now we're all buddy-buddy, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm okay with being a vampire. It went that fast, it felt like.
It is a 180.
Yeah, it really felt like it. So it would have been better if it was prolonged. And something that also really irked me, as I mentioned earlier, Homer and his character. Because, like, he was also, along with the rest of the crew, very underutilized, and, like, suddenly the focus shifts to him, where he's out of nowhere obsessed with Caleb's little sister, to the point where he dies. Someone who is terrified of the sun, cries at the mere thought of it, suddenly jumps out of the car in the middle of like the day to run towards someone he doesn't even know. Wait a moment. So it is very much as Joseph said, that it had its key moments where it was very good, but overall it wasn't that interesting. Although I feel like I can put it on in the background and like watch it like half, like at half attention.
Sporadically.
Yeah, as just a background movie, I think it works.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, it felt like it had very good potential in its idea and a lot of the characters and whatnot, but it was so underutilized. And like they did go in depth in many of the characters, and sure, that was some of the charm. For example, Jesse, when he asks how old he was and he didn't specify his age. Yeah, that's an intentional mystery of a character, but all the others, it was like, sure, he just met them, but at the same time, it's just we know nothing about these characters. Like, how old is Homer? He is an old man, sure, but is he? How much older is he than all the other characters? Is he like the youngest, or is he really old? Because Homer, the name by itself, could indicate that he's fuck old due to the.
It felt like the movie is missing like an hour of running time.
Yeah.
Because everything happens so fucking fast. And unless it's the whole romance storyline, then it gets a lot of running time. But everything else just gets half-assed.
Yeah. Him getting to get comfortable as a vampire gets, like, no transition time at all. And then his family gets there, and it's all reverted like it never happened.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They managed to
Revert.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, and the fact
through blood transition. I mean, what in the actual hell?
Yeah,
and like that, his dad just figures it out on his own, right?
Yeah, a veterinarian.
Yeah, he just pulls that trick right out of his ass. And why didn't if he could have figured that out, why can't like the main character figure that out too?
Yeah, and like sure they may not have like tried it, but the other characters are like hundreds of years old. Why couldn't he figure out something a like Southern dad did in like less than a minute?
Yeah, like okay, so he says like he was fighting in one of the wars. He has had
the Civil War.
He has had centuries to try everything, but also something that can be is he's made peace with that he's a vampire and he can act like a fucking asshole all he wants. Because I mean, the fucking crackhead kid, I mean, he gets shot in the fucking in the chest, and it's like the rush. Like he enjoys being a vampire. Seemingly, the guy with the fucking rat tail also seems to enjoy being a vampire. So why would he care?
Yeah, very much so. I think we don't know, as said, much about him, so it is not sure how he made peace with it, or like if he tried anything, but like he just seems like the kind of character that just either always was or was always meant to be this kind of person. And yeah, Diamondback, like there's not a lot on her as well. Sure, we get to know about her, who turned her, where she was turned, which was not extremely long ago, but yeah.
That's one hell of a fucking coincidence that they drive by the fucking place where she was turned as well.
Well, not necessarily, because Jesse did mention in the motel that they had in the shootout in that he comes by every 50 years or so.
Oh yeah,
So,
I forgot
like,
about that, but still.
I think I think that is maybe a cruising point that he frequents because he knows people will be there.
I mean, like, if you live for long enough, you're gonna have been everywhere at least once in your life.
Yeah. Especially if you don't leave the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, I may like the movie a bit more than Joseph, but at this point that doesn't say much.
Yeah, it's my turn to be a negative Nancy, I guess.
Well-
Blue and Ogge, what are your thoughts about this one?
I mean, Zombie, it just means that you have bad taste in movies.
I didn't say that I like it, I just said I liked it more. Like,
Oh, you didn't like it.
It's just a crush. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, as I said, background movie. And that's about it. With a good few seeds. And a lot of lost potential.
Yeah, I think this movie gets killed by... Like, the pacing is pretty terrible. How
Yeah.
it just... Everything starts so slow and nothing happens and you wait and you wait and you get bored and you stop caring about it. And then everything happens within 5 minutes. And you're like, what's going on? You basically missed everything.
Yeah, because you get so used to the slow pace
Yeah.
that you don't expect it to go from 0 to 100 is the most unexpected seed.
Yeah, and there's no real build up to it. So right before you don't know things are about to happen.
Yeah.
It's like you look away for you look away for 5 minutes and now you miss the entire movie and you have no idea what's going on, pretty much.
You blinked and boom, action.
And I was also kind of something that really annoyed me too was the ending, how they just lacked self-preservation.
Yeah.
Like they've been alive for hundreds of years, and they're expert vampires. And then they just kill themselves.
Yeah.
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 That was my whole point with the ending. The ending really fucking sucks.
It's like they've been alive for hundreds of years, but they suddenly forget that they die in the sun.
Yeah.
They suddenly don't give a shit that they die in the sun.
One would think that a man like Jesse, who has lived as long as he did, with the attitude he has, would go for revenge. Because that may kill them. Or at the very least, once Severin dies, he would be like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Time to go. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
We already lost.
And he knows where the kid lives, so he can just wait until night and then strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
So many unnecessary risks.
Yeah, it's like he just decides to just suicides.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they do.
They could so easily have done Bar 2.0 in Caleb's house if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They have the power.
Yeah.
That would have been a great fucking ending.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of there are those two you mentioned, the bar scene and the shootout scene, which are great, and I mean even the stupid ending scene is at least it's entertaining. It's not good, but it's entertaining at least.
Yeah.
But I don't think it helps the movie that much because the pacing is so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you're throughout most of the movie you're just what am I watching even, and I also watched this movie 2 times, and I think my opinion is I thought I was gonna like it more the second time around, but no.
One would think.
The
We've
pacing,
all been deceived.
Yeah, the pacing just breaks the movie in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. I went into the movie the second time thinking, okay, I know what to expect now. I know it's a kind of slow movie, but it got some really good set pieces, so I might like it a bit more. But
Yeah.
Who am I kidding?
Like both times when I was watching those set pieces and like the second half, I'm like, I should be enjoying this movie, but I'm not. I don't know what's going on. But,
Yeah.
It felt like too little, too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like even though the scenes are great, it doesn't help much because at that point you're already like you kind of feel like you want to turn the movie off and watch something else.
Yeah.
So
The movie has lost you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And once you hit that point, it's pretty much impossible to redeem. You just at that point I just give up on the movie.
Yeah.
And that's
You stop
also
expecting it to be good.
Yeah, and that's also my main problem with slasher movies as well, because I always go on about it, but there's this type of build up in those types of movies. But
There are a lot of slasher movies
Yeah.
that are like that, but then there are slasher movies that are basically punch in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's where's there a murder basically every 5 minutes
Yeah.
throughout the entire film.
and this movie takes that build up and just cranks it up to max.
Yeah.
This is just
Yeah.
worse than any type of slasher movie that I've seen. So yeah, my rating is pretty low for this movie.
Yeah, I can imagine. Blue, Unleash the Fury, please.
I thought it was boring. I could not care less about the movie. Like, holy shit. Like, I went into this completely blind. I had no idea what was going on. And, like, the way she was talking there at the start, I was like, oh, so it's gonna be some form of alien movie. Like, I thought she was some form of alien, like in, oh, what's that one called? Space, no.
Species?
Species, yeah. Like, I thought it was gonna be something like Species. I'm like, oh, okay. Then it might be a good movie. Continues watching. It's like, okay, he's gonna get laid. Typical horror movie. Whatever. And she bites him. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's probably marked. He's gonna be abducted. Whatever. And then the thing starts like actually, what's it called? Like it starts to fall into place that, oh, she's a fucking vampire. I was like, oh god, this movie's gonna be shit. I was not wrong.
For once, Blue, for once,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I was like, this is some horse shit. And I was watching this, like, I was like, shit, oh, we're gonna record in like 3 hours. I'm gonna watch it. Sat there, just watching it. I was like, is it over? Is it over soon? Please tell me it's over soon. It's like, I didn't care for any character. They were all fucking boring. Like, the most interesting character was the guy with the rat tail. I was like, okay, I kind of like him because he's an asshole.
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
Lance Henriksen.
Yeah. Like, Lance is definitely doing work. Like, I would have liked seeing more of him. But other than that, it was just, nah. It was boring. It's like, the twist with, like, Homer being, like, starting to be obsessed with this girl he just met. Wow. She's, like, what, 7 or something? It's just like, my guy, you're a fucking pedophile. Like, you are centuries old, and you're trying to attract someone who's like 7 because your little girlfriend found herself a boyfriend. It's just like, they didn't establish why he's so fucking obsessed with this chick that goes biting another guy's neck. It's like, why? Why are you so obsessed with this? Why do you care so much? And the whole like the ending was horse shit times 2. Like they go from, oh, well, we have to stay alive, we have to stay out of the sun, blah 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 blah. Oh, well, right, yeah, no, let's try and ram him down with the car and not give a shit that we're gonna die because it's sun outside and we don't have car. Like, why would you go centuries upon centuries upon centuries staying alive, staying out of the sun, self-preservation, and then this one kid comes along, fucks your whole shit up, steals one of your own, and turns them back into a fucking human, and just being like, you know what? Time to die. Make it make sense. There's no fucking logic there. It's just, oh hey, so we need an ending to the movie. You know what? Let's make it so that the vampires kills themselves.
Yeah.
Why? It doesn't make sense anywhere. It's fucking bullshit.
Do you know what that kind of reminds me of now that I think of it a bit? Ace Ventura 2, when he's in the cave. He has his like protective amulet and a torch and he's like afraid of bats. And then he hears a bat and he throws the amulet and then the torch. It's like they have the same thought process.
Alright. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I don't like vampire movies in general. I don't like vampire movies. I don't like werewolf movies because I mean, everyone has their own vision of this is a vampire, this is a werewolf, and it's just they do well in books and short stories. They don't make well on the big screen. And it sucks.
It's very hard to make a vampire movie that isn't like somewhat predictable.
Yeah. It's just, no. I definitely agree that Blade and Underworld are good. And that what's that one called? 30 Days of Night. That one's really good. I really liked that other one you mean Grey watched.
Daybreakers.
Yeah, Daybreakers. I really liked Daybreakers.
Yeah, that one was really good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make the story good and like somewhat understandable. Like, oh, it's kind of like, oh, okay, so our source of food is dying out. Shit, we gotta do something. They make the concept work. It's interesting. And yeah, this one, no. And it's like the romance is too much. Like, I do not care for them. From the moment I saw them together, I didn't care. I was like, okay, whatever, die. Like, can you see fucking die? It's so boring, and I like the part where it's like, oh, you have to figure out your own way of getting food. You have to find a way that works for you, like how Homer lays on the street, pretending to have fallen off his bike. Yeah. I like that. Like that's like, okay, you get to see how they survive. That's all great and shit.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with the whole, oh, well, you saved us from the cops once, you're one of us now, and him like turning 180 from, oh, I'm terrified of being a vampire, I'm terrified, like, what is this? I'm terrified. Oh no, I'm fine being a vampire now. Let's Oh god. I'm just gonna hang out with these guys now. It's like, okay, I understand like being in love and shit, but
And then 2 minutes later, he's like, "No, I'm gonna go with Dad and my sis."
yeah, is like, no. He changes his mind faster than other like. Oh god. He changes his mind faster than a girl on her fucking period. Like, I have mood swings when I'm on my period, but like, this guy changes his mind way faster than I do. Then my mood changes like, what the fuck? It's
At the very least, they could have prolonged the scene of him being like fine and okay with it, if anything, and then prolonged the scene of evolving the family and see him more and more turn to the other side because of his family, just showing that he has that strong bond and loyalty to his family that overcomes the loyalty that he feels for his new family. Not that it would make the whole movie perfect or anything, but it would have at least negated this back and forth out of nowhere continuously. If anything. And it would have added more tension, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, like, a lot of horror, or not horror movies, a lot of vampire movies, series, whatever, they have this, like, one thing where, if you get turned, you're, like, you get a strong bond to the person who turned you, and you get this, like, family, oh, you do everything for family, whatever.
Yeah.
They could have worked with that and made that work instead to make it more logical that he would want to stay with these new people that turn him into a fucking vampire, and not just, oh, you know what? Yeah, now you're gonna want to be on their side and hang out with them, and then have the twist like, oh, well, my family's here, and now I
have to choose.
Yeah.
Because playing into stereotypes a bit, like of real people, it would have worked a lot considering the setting of the movie. It is very southern. They talk about Texas, and it's most likely closed. I don't know which state they're in, but it's most likely close, and they're cowboys and whatnot. And if anything of like that stands out stereotypically of that is family values and keeping your family close. And they could have put that twist very successfully that you mentioned with that in mind. That you are very loyal to your family, you stick close to your family, and so getting these familiar bonds with this new group over a period of time. And that's also something that bothered me. You didn't have any real time reference of how much time passed any time. And
it kind of felt like, oh, this all took place over 2, maybe 3 days.
Yeah.
If even that.
While they could have intended it to go on for like maybe weeks.
Yeah.
And like that could have really worked to its advantage of these familiar bonds, and then Assad getting him to choose with his new family or his normal family, so to say.
All right. Should we give this movie a rating then, perhaps?
Let's.
Yeah.
Blue?
Yeah, sure.
No, but what rating will you give it? I mean,
that's her rating. Yeah, sure.
Well, I can't give it anything less than a 0. Like, I want to give this, like, a fucking minus. So, it can get, like, 0.1, because, no. It gets a 1. It's trash, it's not worth your time, don't fucking waste your... It's really like, oh wow, it has some cool action scenes, it's such a good movie. No, it's not. It's not. Don't watch it. Stop it. Stop being stupid.
Okay. Zombie?
I will give it a... Oh, that's tough. I've thought about it in my head for like 2 months now, and then it disappeared. Fuck me. I'll give it a 4. And that
Okay.
is giving it high praise, by the way.
Ogge?
I was actually also gonna give it a 4, but I think I'll give it a 3. Now that I think of it. Like,
Okay.
this movie falls into this, like, vampire tropes that makes me hate the genre, is that there's always, like, a love story.
Yeah.
And it's always that the vampire is, like, 500 years old, but the movie makes it out like it's the first time he ever turned someone.
Which
yeah.
in itself is bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And you
in
also
this
see the
case it
movie
was
that-
actually true, but yeah.
Yeah. And you also see in the movie that that person, like they need to turn someone every day. So they turn, so like, they suck the blood out of someone for, like, every day for 200 years. But now all of a sudden they fall in love with someone because they turned, and yeah. I just
Yeah,
don't like, I think that trope sucks.
Yeah,
And this
it's
movie does
yeah.
too.
yeah, it's horse shit.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's a
s-
3.
Yeah, 3, alright. After my first viewing of the film, I would have given it a 6 out of 10. Mostly because of the star power it had and the set pieces.
Yeah.
But after my second viewing, I will give it a 3. For the same reasons.
Yeah.
Because this, like we all have said, this is a boring movie. It has a
Yeah.
couple of set pieces that works really well, and it got some a handful of really good actors, but that's it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in that case, shall we talk about the... Considering how much we don't like this movie, we still are the Near Dark podcast.
yeah, okay. So the reason why we took the name Near Dark Podcast is pretty dumb, actually, because from the very start, it was me who came up with the idea of starting a podcast because I was at a pretty dark spot in my life, and I felt that I had to get something to do. So I didn't, had to sit alone with my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I came up with the idea of making a podcast because I got inspired by the slasher movie podcast, The Hysteria Continues, which is my favorite podcast of all time, by the way. So I came up with the idea, why not start a podcast of my own, but I need someone to talk to. So I invited Ogge, Tim, and Tagger. And the guys said yes, and we sat down and we were about to record, and we decided to take the name The Graveyard Shift, or Graveyard Shift. That's why Graveyard Shift is the first movie we ever reviewed. But we looked it up, the name Graveyard Shift as a podcast name. And we realized that there were like 2 or 3 other podcasts with the same name. So we're like, oh shit. we need to scramble to get a new name. So we searched around a little bit, and then I stumbled upon this movie, which I had never seen, but the name was really good, and we agreed on picking it, and that's why the name Near Dark Podcast is.
It's kind of erotic that we have the name of the podcast and no one likes the movie, or until this point, no one had watched the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It took us 100 episodes to get here.
Well,
Yeah.
I've actually gone out of my way to not watch this movie because I wanted to wait for this episode.
Oh, you poor child.
Yeah, that was a fucking mistake on my part.
The
But
funny
yeah,
thing is, before recording this, I felt bad for not liking the movie because we have the name of the podcast.
Dude, same. Like, this is our legacy. Oh no, this is our legacy.
Am I the only one who was sitting here? It's like, I'm just gonna pour a dump truck of shit on this movie, and I'm not even gonna feel sorry. There you go, I'm a fucking cynical cunt.
okay, should we perhaps wrap things up? I've decided to not include any background because this is a very, very well-known movie and there are tons of information out there about it. The only thing that I'm gonna mention is the Swedish title of the film, and it was Natten har sitt pris, which means for you guys who doesn't understand Swedish, the night has its price, which I think is a pretty cool name, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes sense for the movie.
Yeah.
it does.
Near Dark doesn't.
No.
No. And also, something I just remembered about Angel saying she thought this was like an alien type movie. The poster also made me think that. Like, it
Yeah.
reminded me partway of The Thing a bit.
Yeah.
And that really threw me for a loop, because I didn't know what to expect of this movie.
Well,
With the title
I
of Near
I
Dark.
knew it was a vampire movie beforehand, so.
So, talking about The Thing, when are we reviewing that?
That's episode 500.
Alright, fuck, I have to
Well,
wait for a
we
while
got
then.
we got the board game to review, so
Oh yeah.
wink,
that's it.
wink. All right,
Wink,
nudge.
we are playing. We are playing out with Jon Parr, Naughty Naughty, and what is the next pick? I think it's Zombies pick.
It is.
Shit. Don't put me on the spot like that.
Oh, well,
Shit.
we can talk about something while we wait on him to figure it out. So, it is episode 100. I had a question for everyone. What review that we have done in these past 100 episodes were your favorite to do?
Shit.
I can start. I really
Yeah.
liked Martyrs. I really like talking about it because it's an interesting movie to talk about. And I also really liked the Thing review we made because it was a really long episode and there was a lot to talk about, and it's also a great movie. Those are my two favorite ones.
I would say The Thing and Friday the 13th Part 5. Alien Raiders was really fun to talk about as well.
Mm.
And Silent Night, the Christmas episode me and the Zombie did last year.
Oh yeah, that one was very fun.
Yeah. Both me and Zombie gave it a 10 out of 10. It is probably the best fucking movie we've ever reviewed on this show, to be honest.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Would review again.
What about you, Ogge?
The one that stands out to me was Don't Breathe.
Yeah, that was a really good one to talk
Yeah,
about.
we had a lot to say about that one.
Oh, yeah.
We had some pretty interesting conversation. And there was also one episode, like, our review wasn't very good because I think we spent the whole review arguing about the date of a movie or what year it was released.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
Yeah. I don't remember I don't remember what episode it was, but it was hilarious.
Oh,
It was probably like half an hour we argued about it, and nobody looked it up.
He's saying that. No, I know from the top of my head that this is the date. Oh, man.
I think my favorite is Event Horizon.
Oh, that was a good one.
Just because I remember the movie and parts of it, and so it was a very... I don't remember much of the discussion, but I do remember that it was fun to discuss it because of how it felt very that people liked the movie and still had things to say about it other than like, oh, we all like it, that's a wrap. But
yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's a good movie. Why is it a good movie? It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think like the longer we've been doing this, like when we were just starting off with our baby legs and starting talking, it was a lot of like, I like it. Why do you like it? Now it's just like when I ask someone like, hey, why did you like that one movie? And he can list like minimum five things that he liked about it. It's like I think the more we review movies, the longer we do it, the better the episodes are gonna get.
Yeah, I have picked my next pick, and it is a movie that I really do like. So next time we will be talking about 2002's 28 Days Later.
Oh.
Man.
All right.
Good choice.
With that, goodbye, good people. Thank you for listening to our 100th episode. We made it.
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening to this milestone of an episode for us. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, goodbye, good folks. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, good folks. Remember to hit that subscribe button and to find your way back to us.
And stay away from
100
vampire movies.
Yes.